Breaking, as thousands march across America, Trump issues massive response. President Donald Trump issued an Earth Day statement Saturday that said his administration seeks what's best for the environment and for the American workers living in it. Trump's message came on the same day as the March for Science, in which activists opposed to Trump's environmental agenda said public policy must follow the dictates of researchers. Trump has earned the wrath of many Democrats and liberals by upending the environmental policy of former President Barack Obama. Trump has also vowed to reduce the regulatory burden federal agencies place on businesses. However, Trump said in his statement that science is essential to sound policy. Rigorous science is critical to my administration's efforts to achieve the twin goals of economic growth and environmental protection, he said. However, Trump also noted that for science to be valuable, it cannot be the tool of partisan agendas. My administration is committed to advancing scientific research that leads to a better understanding of our environment and of environmental risks. As we do so, we should remember that rigorous science depends not on ideology, but on a spirit of honest inquiry and robust debate, he said. President Donald Trump issued an Earth Day statement Saturday that said his administration seeks what's best for the environment and for the American workers living in it. Trump's message came on the same day as the March for Science, in which activists opposed to Trump's environmental agenda said public policy must follow the dictates of researchers. Trump has earned the wrath of many Democrats and liberals by upending the environmental policy of former President Barack Obama. Trump has also vowed to reduce the regulatory burden federal agencies place on businesses. However, Trump said in his statement that science is essential to sound policy. Rigorous science is critical to my administration's efforts to achieve the twin goals of economic growth and environmental protection, he said. However, Trump also noted that for science to be valuable, it cannot be the tool of partisan agendas. My administration is committed to advancing scientific research that leads to a better understanding of our environment and of environmental risks. As we do so, we should remember that rigorous science depends not on ideology, but on a spirit of honest inquiry and robust debate, he said. Just in, Trump and Melania show up at military hospital, what happens next is turning heads. President Donald Trump personally awarded a Purple Heart Saturday to an Army sergeant who lost part of his leg in Afghanistan. When I heard about this and I wanted to do it myself, Trump said during a brief ceremony at Walter Reed National Military Medical Center in Bethesda, MD. Earlier in the day, Trump had tweeted that he was going to Walter Reed. After the ceremony, the President and First Lady Melania Trump visited with veterans at the military facility. The visit lasted about 90 minutes. Sergeant First Class Alvaro Barrientos, who was wounded in Afghanistan on March 17, was accompanied by his wife, Tammy. Barrientos was injured when an Afghan soldier opened fire inside a base in Helmand Province. 3 soldiers were wounded in the attack. Trump gave Barrientos' wife a kiss and then pinned the medal on the sergeant's left shirt collar, later shaking hands with Barrientos. The Purple Heart is awarded to service members who are wounded or killed in action. Many on Twitter praised Trump for making the trip to honor Barrientos. Trump has pledged to support America's service members and veterans during his presidency. Our veterans have delivered for this nation and now we must deliver for them, Trump said in a February speech. During that address to a joint session of Congress, Trump also singled out Karen Owens, whose husband, Navy SEAL William Ryan Owens, had been killed in a January raid on Yemen that Trump had authorized. Ryan's legacy is etched into eternity, Trump said then. Breaking, analysts notice major activity in North Korea. North Korea might be moving closer to a nuclear weapons test as another major North Korean military holiday approaches, according to analysts and Korean officials. Given the North's recent provocative words and actions and its April 25 People's Army anniversary, there is concern that the North can attempt a provocation at any time, South Korea's acting president, Hwang Kyo-ahn, said Thursday. North Korea marked the anniversary of the birth of North Korean founder Kim Il-sung April 15 with a military parade and followed that a day later with a missile test that has been labeled a failure. Some analysts feared North Korea might use the date for a nuclear test, and based their concerns upon activity at the test site located in Pyongyang. On Friday, analysts Joseph S. Bermudez Jr. and Jack Lee wrote on the monitoring website 38 North that activity had resumed. They said it was unclear whether the latest activity reflected a tactical pause before a coming nuclear test, a prolonged stand down from testing, or normal operations at the site. Regardless, satellite imagery continues to indicate the Pyongyang nuclear test site appears able to conduct a sixth nuclear test at any time once the order is received from Pyongyang, they wrote. On Saturday, North Korea continued to fire hot words at the United States. If the U.S. provokes the DPRK even a bit, its army and people will start a great war of justice for national reunification without hesitation, said state-run media, using the acronym for the Democratic People's Republic of Korea. The U.S. has now gone seriously mad. It is mulling frightening the DPRK and achieving something with nuclear strategic bombers, nuclear carriers, etc. It added. Also on Saturday, reports that a gasoline shortage was impacting drivers in North Korea gave rise to speculation that China, the main source of North Korea's imports, might be tightening supplies as a way to force North Korea to back off its belligerence. President Donald Trump has repeatedly warned North Korea against aggressive actions towards its neighbors. The aircraft carrier the USS Carl Vinson, which had reportedly been ordered to Korea on April 8, is now due to arrive in the Sea of Japan off Korea by the end of April, Vice President Mike Pence said Saturday while on the Australian leg of his Asian tour. For the past 11 years, North Korea has been conducting nuclear tests and missile tests with the announced goal of being able to develop an intercontinental ballistic missile that can carry a nuclear payload and hit targets as far away as the United States mainland. 103,000 entitled Muslims in Michigan just woke up to nasty surprise. We need more patriots to stand up against the Islamification of America. We need to stop the proponents of Sharia law in their tracks. Thankfully, one such patriot is doing just that. Representative Michelle Hoytinga has introduced a law preventing Michigan courts from considering foreign laws when rendering their decisions. The law does not target any region specifically, but will prevent Muslims from bringing Sharia law to Michigan. VIM Live. Michigan is at the center of the Sharia invasion of America. Thanks to the ridiculous policies of Barack Obama, the state has opened the floodgate to Muslim occupation. In particular, the city of Dearborn, Michigan has been flooded by Muslims, and is considered the Middle East of America. Representative Michelle Hoytinga introduced the law after police arrested a Muslim doctor in Detroit for committing female genital mutilation. The doctor was Muslim and had her patients drive in from all over Michigan to receive her treatments. The doctor faces a potential life sentence after performing female genital mutilation on dozens of confirmed victims for over a decade. Republican lawmakers are concerned that her lawyers will refer to Sharia law to justify the actions. Unlike the majority of immigrants, Muslims have absolutely no intention of integrating into wider American culture. They will continue to seclude themselves en masse, turning city after city into third world environments. This new legislation will prevent the spread of Sharia law, blocking the trend before it is able to build itself in American jurisprudence. Finally, we can thank Donald Trump for getting the ball rolling. Federal law prohibits the consideration of foreign laws in federal courts, and the Michigan law will extend these guarantees to state courts. Tennessee, Arizona, Louisiana, Kansas, Arkansas, Mississippi, Oklahoma, North Carolina, South Dakota, and Alabama have already passed similar laws. After 8 years of Obama, this is a welcome change. The law introduced by Michelle Hoytinga is designed to protect women and children from harmful practices that are considered normal in Muslim-dominated countries. Women enjoy more freedom in America than anywhere else in the world, and Hoytinga is trying to preserve that. Of course, feminists have targeted Hoytinga for attempting to protect women, accusing her of Islamophobia. Why won't feminists admit that Islam tramples on the rights of women? If wanting to protect our citizens from child abuse, slavery, incest, rape, and female genital mutilation is Islamophobic, then I guess I am Islamophobic, along with every other reasonable American. We need to push back against this bullying. Did you support the banning of Sharia law? Please share the story on Facebook and tell us what you think because we want to hear your voice. Just in, Trump asks Obama Surgeon General to step down, look what instantly happens. President Donald Trump's decision to appoint a black woman with nursing experience to serve as the nation's Surgeon General has led to both of them being trashed. On Friday, a statement announced the Trump administration was continuing to transition away from Obama-era appointees and had asked former Surgeon General Vivek Murthy to step aside. Rear Admiral Sylvia Trent Adams, who is the current Deputy Surgeon General, will serve as the acting Surgeon General and assume leadership of the U.S. Public Health Service Commissioned Corps, said a statement from the Department of Health and Human Services. Trent Adams is a graduate of Hampton University as well as the University of Maryland. She has a Ph.D. and a master's degree in nursing and health policy. However, when the mainstream media reported the changeover, the academic qualifications of Trent Adams did not make the cut of what seemed important. Dr. Vivek Murthy, an Obama appointee, resigns as Surgeon General, replaced by Deputy Sylvia Trent Adams, a nurse, tweeted ABC. The New York Times headlined its report this way: Nurse replaces Surgeon General after Obama appointee resigns. Some felt this approach demeaned a dedicated medical professional. Others suggested the real problem might have been that Trump did not behave in the way his critics have portrayed him. Political opponents also attacked the president for dismissing Murthy, who has called gun violence a public health issue. U.S. Surgeons General are not supposed to be fired midterm, said Senator Christopher Murphy, Democrat Connecticut. They have served administrations of both political parties because keeping Americans safe and healthy isn't a partisan issue. The Surgeon General has little actual power, but often uses the post to call attention to what he or she believes to be the nation's top health priority.